Hi, I'm Cidney, and today we're going to be reading Wanda Witch and the Bullies by Rose and Pay and illustrated by Catherine McGuinn. So this is a scholastic reader. What's interesting about these books is they actually show what level they are. So this is a 3 level, which on the inside actually tells you what the 3 level stands for. So these books are good for, this book itself is good for first graders. So a level 3 book is from sentences to paragraphs to longer stories. These books have large chunks of text and are made up of rich vocabulary. So that's what this level 3 book is good for building on. Another interesting thing is in the back of the book they have a section called Fluency Fun, which has a bunch of different words that all have the same sounds at the end. For example, way, gray, play, stay, and away. And these are words that the students can read aloud and try to say all within a minute as they practice. They also have a section that says look out for words in the story. So busy, head, instead, idea, and brother. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first page shows all the characters. So Wanda Witch, Victor, Eric, Winnie Witch, Witchy Witch, Wendell, and Catabogus. Wanda Witch didn't want to go to school. She said she had a tummy ache. Too many grumbled gums, said Catabogus. All little witches have to go to school, said Mom. Even this little witch, said Dad. Wanda Witch wanted Mom to take her to school, but Witchy Witch was too busy with the baby. So Catabogus took her instead, and Wanda Witch was not happy. She didn't want anyone to see her being taken to school by a cat. But Gabagool saw her, and there's Gabagool. When Wanda Witch stuck her nose in the air, Gobby tripped her. So Wanda Witch turned his nose into a hot dog. I'll tell my brother on you. It soon turned back, but Gobby was still mad. Gabagool's brother was a terrible bully. He stood on Wanda Witch's foot and twisted her arm behind her back. So she turned his head into a cabbage. Look at him with his cabbage head. You wait, said the cabbage. After school, our cousins will get you. They're goblins. But Wanda Witch didn't even wait for Catabogus. She started walking home on her own. When Wanda Witch was halfway home, she heard a whispering sound. She knew what it was. You could smell goblins a mile away. 7 of them jumped out of the bushes. Goblins always travel in groups. Wanda Witch wasn't afraid of 1 goblin, but 7? The goblins called her name Little Miss Dragon Breath, Snitchy Witch, Fang Face, and Smelly Spelly. They pulled her hair and pinched her hat. They tried to make Wanda Witch cry, but even the little witches never cry. My dad will turn you all into toads, she said bravely. Let him, croaked the goblins. My mom will turn you all into pigs, she said. Who cares, grunted the goblins. Then Wanda Witch had a great idea. She made up a spell. Pinch of sugar, pinch of spice, all things pink, sweet and nice. Turn these goblins, brown and hairy, into little goblin fairies. The goblins stared at one another and started to squeal. You look silly. Not as silly as you. You look more silly. When they saw Catabogus coming, the goblin fairies ran away. Catabogus told Wanda Witch she was getting too big for her broomstick. He made her promise that she would always wait for him from now on. Catabogus was glad she learned her lesson for once, but Wanda Witch was planning a little lesson of her own. The end. So, with this book, to teach phonemic awareness, students could recognize that some of the words in the sets have the same sound. So, like, for example, all of the parents that were, all the people in her family that were female, Wanda Witch. Wanda Witch. Winnie Witch. Winnie Witch. Even the dad. Wendell. Then there's the mom. Witchy. Witch. I think that's one way that they can connect phonemic awareness, is understanding that both Wanda and Witch start with the same letter, and they have the kind of the same sound, so the for the W. Phonics, for incorporating phonics, they could look at the ch in Wanda Witch. That's one word that's often repeated throughout the story, is they call her Wanda Witch throughout the whole story. One way they can look at this is, witch, that's a new word. Well, what does that say? Well, after I get a bug bite, I have an itch. At this age, they'll probably be understanding the concept of the ch sound, the ch, ch. So, witch, itch. This is also great for in the back of the book where they have words that end in the same sound. So, itch, pitch, witch, twitch, and stitch. For teaching fluency, after reading the book a few times, I can ask the children to read along with me and do a choral reading. Since these sentences aren't very long, I believe after a few times reading it, they'll be able to say it all along with me. Then with vocabulary, I thought that the words to look for in the story would be great for the vocabulary. I can, either give them a list of these words to keep an eye out for and listen when we're reading the story, as well as being able to point them out. Maybe if they all have their own copies, circle them in their books so they're recognizing these words as they come up and they can practice them more. Busy, instead, idea, these might be some newer words that they have not heard yet. And then for comprehension, for comprehension and writing, I thought that the students could take this ending where she casts the spell on them and she makes them all into fairies, and instead of making them the fairies, they could rewrite what happens to her bullies. So for an example, I could make an example for them. Well, if I was Wanda Witch, I would make them all wear red lipstick all day and let them either draw a picture of some goblins wearing something silly or funny, and then if they can, have them write that out as well. So I would make them wear red lipstick all day, or something along those lines of, what they might wear or what they might do to them to make them seem silly in appropriate ways, but also to rewrite that so they're understanding what happened to the bullies because they were bullying her. I think that is it.